Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball world by storm, becoming one of the most talked about athletes of her generation. From her incredible performances on the court to her ability to draw massive viewership, Clark has reshaped the landscape of women's basketball. However, her journey has been marked by a strange and often frustrating relationship with Nike, her official sponsor, and a league that seems hesitant to fully embrace her as its next superstar. In her rookie year, Caitlin Clark made history, quickly becoming the face of the WNBA with her record-breaking performances. The Iowa standout has been a scoring machine, draining three-pointers from seemingly impossible distances, dishing out pinpoint assists, and leading her team with a confidence that belies her years. The 2024 season, Clark's rookie campaign, was not only impressive statistically, but it also breathed new life into a league that has struggled to capture mainstream attention. Ticket sales soared by 93% from the previous year, and viewership surged as fans tuned in to witness Clark's electrifying style of play. Yet despite her monumental impact, Nike's support has been surprisingly muted. The brand, known for amplifying the stars of the sports world, seemed to downplay Clark's achievements, focusing instead on other athletes. Clark's Rookie of the Year win, a significant milestone that was leaked before being officially announced, did not come with a signature shoe or major marketing campaign, but with a simple t-shirt commemorating her records. That t-shirt, despite its minimalistic design, sold out in just 50 minutes, demonstrating the immense demand for anything associated with Clark's name. It was a stark contrast to Nike's past treatment of breakout stars like LeBron James, who received a signature shoe before he even stepped onto an NBA court. Many fans and analysts have wondered why Nike, a brand that prides itself on aligning with game changers, has been slow to fully support Clark. Speculation has ranged from internal politics to long-standing sponsorship dynamics with other athletes, particularly A'ja Wilson. Wilson, a multi-time MVP and one of the league's top talents, has been positioned as the centerpiece of Nike's WNBA marketing efforts. While Wilson's achievements are undeniable, her commercial appeal hasn't reached the same heights as Clark's. In comparison, Clark's jerseys have flown off the shelves, with her Indiana Fever jersey even outselling those of some major NBA players. This dynamic has led to frustration among fans, who see Clark as the league's biggest draw and wonder why Nike isn't capitalizing on her popularity. Many believe that if Clark was signed with Adidas instead, she would already have a signature shoe. Adidas, in fact, has been more vocal in celebrating Clark's success, even though she isn't officially on their roster. When Clark won the Rookie of the Year award, it was Adidas that publicly congratulated her first, with tennis legend Billie Jean King, an Adidas ambassador, praising Clark's contributions to women's basketball. King's endorsement wasn't just about Clark's skills, it highlighted her transformative impact on the sport. The tension between Nike's approach and Clark's marketability is even more baffling when considering Nike's history. This is a company that built its reputation on partnering with athletes who changed the game: Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, and more recently, LeBron James. These are figures who not only excelled in their respective sports, but also redefined what was possible for their leagues. Clark, with her ability to attract fans and elevate the WNBA's profile, fits this mold perfectly. Yet, Nike has remained cautious, choosing to emphasize athletes like Wilson, even though Clark has emerged as the more commercially potent figure. The impact of this decision extends beyond merchandise. When Clark was eliminated from the playoffs, the WNBA saw a noticeable dip in viewership and engagement, underscoring her importance to the league's growth. Fans tune in to watch Caitlin Clark, and her absence from the court was felt by the league, its broadcasters, and its partners. Despite this clear indicator of her influence, the WNBA has been hesitant to fully embrace her as the new face of the sport. To some, it feels like resistance to the idea that a 22-year-old from Iowa could be the future of women's basketball. Part of this reluctance could be attributed to how rapidly Clark has changed the dynamics of the league. Clark's style of play is dynamic and confident, reminiscent of the NBA's greatest shooters, drawing comparisons to Steph Curry. Her flair and competitiveness have made her a must-watch player, bringing in not just die-hard basketball fans, but also casual viewers who might not have paid attention to the WNBA before. Yet, this same style can be seen as disruptive to the status quo, a challenge to the traditional marketing narratives that the WNBA and Nike have cultivated over the years. Some observers believe that the hesitance to embrace Clark fully might be rooted in deeper, more personal biases. Clark's rise has brought her scrutiny, criticism, and even outright resentment from some corners, especially as she doesn't fit the mold of what many expected a WNBA superstar to be. Her confident demeanor and the media attention she commands have made her a polarizing figure, with detractors often focusing on aspects beyond her basketball abilities. In this context, Nike's reluctance to place her front and center might reflect an unwillingness to navigate these complexities. On the other hand, Adidas has shown that it's ready to adapt to the new wave Clark represents. The brand's willingness to celebrate Clark's Rookie of the Year win, even without an official partnership, signals an understanding of her cultural significance. For Adidas, aligning with a star like Clark, even tangentially, is a no-brainer, as she represents a bright future for women's sports, a future that is more visible, more marketable, and more widely celebrated. Adidas has recognized that Clark's influence is undeniable, and they're eager to associate with that star power. Clark's 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike now seems like a steal for the sportswear giant, given her market potential. But it's also a contract that has tied her to a brand that appears unsure of how to best leverage her appeal. Despite this long-term commitment, Nike's promotional efforts have been underwhelming, leaving Clark's fans to wonder what could have been if she had aligned with a brand more eager to showcase her talents. It's a situation that has led to comparisons with other rookie sensations across sports who received more immediate recognition and investment from their sponsors. Even within the WNBA itself, the focus has remained on promoting players like Angel Wilson, despite Clark's impact on the league's visibility. The league's marketing during the playoffs prominently featured Wilson rather than Clark, despite Clark's ability to drive ticket sales and viewership. This focus has not gone unnoticed, sparking debates about why the WNBA seems hesitant to position Clark as the centerpiece of its growth strategy, despite the clear data that suggests her star power is unmatched. Clark's fans argue that if she and Wilson both released signature shoes on the same day, Clark's would outsell Wilson's many times over. This isn't to diminish Wilson's accomplishments. She is a phenomenal player who has earned her accolades. But from a business perspective, it's clear that Clark's appeal reaches a broader audience. The fervor around her games, the sold-out merchandise, and the surge in social media engagement all point to Clark's unique ability to connect with fans in a way that drives growth for the league. The discrepancy between Nike's approach and the reality of Clark's popularity has become a point of contention among fans, analysts, and even within the broader sports community. They see Nike's hesitancy as a missed opportunity to harness the momentum that Caitlin Clark has generated for women's basketball. With each passing game, Clark's influence only grows, drawing in new viewers and inspiring a generation of young athletes. Many believe that Nike could have solidified their presence in the market by giving Clark the same level of attention they've given to past stars, effectively positioning her as the face of their WNBA campaign. The demand is clearly there. Clark's jerseys and even the limited merchandise have flown off the shelves, indicating a massive appetite for products tied to her name. The broader conversation surrounding Clark's treatment by Nike and the WNBA also underscores deeper issues within sports marketing and representation. It highlights a reluctance to shift narratives and embrace new faces that don't fit into existing molds, even when those new faces bring transformative potential. While Clark continues to push boundaries on the court, the question remains whether Nike and the WNBA will eventually adapt to fully recognize her value, or whether another brand, like Adidas, will seize the chance to ride the wave she's creating. As Clark heads into her next season, the eyes of fans, analysts, and other brands are watching closely, knowing that her potential to redefine women's basketball is far from being fully realized.